Introduction. Did you know that right now, as you're listening to this, there could be millions of microscopic plastic particles floating through your bloodstream? And here's the shocking part. They likely came from your own kitchen. Welcome to Rooted Health Revival, the podcast that transforms how you think about everyday wellness. I'm your host, and before we dive into today's eye-opening episode, I want to ask you a favor. If you find value in what we share today, please hit that subscribe button and share this episode with someone you care about. Your support helps us reach more people with life-changing health information. Now, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. When was the last time you really looked at what you're cooking with? I mean, really looked. Because what I'm about to share with you will fundamentally change how you see your kitchen, and it could literally save your health. Part 1, the invisible invasion. Let's start with a reality check that's going to blow your mind. According to recent scientific research, humans inhale an estimated 22 million micro and nanoplastics every single year. That's not a typo, 22 million. These aren't just statistics from some distant environmental study. This is happening in your body, right now, as we speak. But here's what makes this even more alarming. A groundbreaking February 2025 study revealed something that researchers had long suspected but couldn't prove until now. These microplastics don't just pass through our bodies like we once hoped. They accumulate. They build up in our tissues over time, with higher concentrations being found in our most vital organs. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like science fiction, but the evidence is overwhelming and undeniable. Scientists have documented microplastics causing tissue inflammation, cell death, and significant impacts on both lung and liver function. In blood vessels, these tiny invaders have been directly linked to increased risks of heart attacks, strokes, and in the most severe cases, death. The animal studies are equally sobering. Researchers have observed reduced sperm counts, ovarian scarring, and hereditary metabolic disorders in mice exposed to microplastics. Marine life studies show oxidative and DNA damage, along with increased cancer rates. Dr. Sarah Chen from the Australian Institute of Environmental Health puts it this way: we're essentially conducting a massive, uncontrolled experiment on human health, and the early results are deeply concerning. But here's the thing that really keeps me up at night and should concern every single one of us. You're exposed to microplastics in 3 primary ways: through inhalation, breathing them in from the air around you; through ingestion, eating and drinking them; and through direct skin contact. And the biggest source of this exposure, it's not some distant factory or ocean pollution. It's your kitchen, the very place where you prepare the food that's supposed to nourish and heal your body. Part 2, the kitchen culprits, 7 hidden dangers. Let me take you on a journey through your kitchen, but I want you to see it through new eyes. Every surface, every tool, every container you use could be silently contaminating your food with millions of microscopic plastic particles. The first culprit, your non-stick cookware. That beautiful, easy-to-clean non-stick pan you love so much, it's potentially one of the most dangerous items in your kitchen. Recent Australian research has delivered a shocking revelation. Teflon-coated cookware contains thousands, possibly millions of microplastic particles. But here's the terrifying part. If your pan has even a small crack or fracture, you could be exposing yourself to over 2 million microplastic particles in a single cooking session. Think about that for a moment. 2 million particles from one scratched pan. How many scratched pans have you used in your lifetime? The second culprit, plastic food containers. The explosion of food delivery services has created an unexpected health crisis. All reusable plastic takeout containers, and I mean all of them, according to comprehensive testing, contain microplastics that leach into your food, especially when heated or repeatedly washed. Every time you order that convenient dinner delivery, you're not just getting the meal you ordered, you're getting a side of microscopic plastic particles that weren't listed on the menu. The third culprit, plastic utensils. This one particularly affects me because it's so commonplace. Those plastic spoons, forks, and kitchen utensils we use every day release microplastics directly into our food, especially when they come into contact with hot meals. The process is invisible, tasteless, and happening with every bite. The fourth culprit? Tea bags. Here's something that shocked even me when I first learned about it. Researchers at Spain's Economist University of Barcelona made a discovery that should concern every tea drinker on the planet. A single plastic tea bag releases billions, that's billions with a B, of microplastic and nanoplastic particles for every millimeter of water it's submerged in. Your peaceful morning tea ritual, it might be one of your highest daily exposures to microplastics. The fifth culprit, spice containers. Recent studies found microplastics in every single plastic spice container tested. Every one. That means your paprika, your black pepper, your garlic powder. If they're stored in plastic, they're contaminated. The sixth culprit, plastic straws. With 8 million metric tons of plastic straws ending up in waterways annually, these aren't just an environmental disaster, they're a direct health threat. Studies show they release microplastics and nanoplastics that can be directly inhaled while you're drinking. The seventh culprit, canned food linings. Even when manufacturers removed BPA due to health concerns, they replaced it with non-BPA acrylic or polyester epoxies. The problem? These alternatives also contain microplastics, and unlike BPA, they haven't been studied extensively for long-term health effects.
Part 3. The transformation. Practical solutions that work. Now, I know what you're feeling right now. Overwhelmed, maybe a little scared, possibly wondering if there's any safe way to cook and eat anymore. But here's the good news, and there is genuinely good news. You have more control over this than you might think. The solution isn't to panic or give up, it's to make informed, strategic changes that can dramatically reduce your exposure while actually improving your cooking experience. Transform your cooking tools. Let's start with the easiest swap, your utensils. Replace plastic spatulas, spoons, and cooking tools with wooden or stainless steel alternatives. Wooden utensils have been used for thousands of years. They're naturally antimicrobial, gentle on cookware, and completely plastic-free. Stainless steel options are durable, easy to clean, and will last you decades. The investment you make today in quality tools will pay dividends in both health and performance for years to come. Revolutionize your cookware. This is where you can make the biggest impact. Cast iron, carbon steel, and stainless steel cookware don't just eliminate microplastic exposure, they actually improve your cooking. Cast iron adds beneficial iron to your food and develops a natural non-stick surface over time. Carbon steel is what professional chefs use for its incredible heat retention and versatility. Stainless steel is virtually indestructible and perfect for everything from searing to braising. Yes, there is a learning curve if you're used to non-stick surfaces, but thousands of home cooks have made this transition successfully, and the results speak for themselves. Better tasting food, improved health, and cookware that lasts generations instead of years. Upgrade your food storage. Glass and stainless steel containers are game changers. They don't absorb odors, they're completely non-reactive, and they can go from freezer to oven to dishwasher without any concerns about chemical leaching. Ceramic containers offer another excellent option, especially for storing dry goods and leftovers. They're beautiful enough to serve directly from, and they create an airtight seal that keeps food fresher longer. Reimagine your tea experience. Instead of tea bags, embrace loose-leaf teas with stainless steel infusers or traditional tea strainers. This isn't just about avoiding microplastics. Loose-leaf teas are typically higher quality, more flavorful, and often more economical per cup than bagged alternatives. Rethink your spice storage. Transfer your spices to glass jars or ceramic containers. Not only does this eliminate microplastic contamination, but it also protects your spices from light degradation and keeps them fresher longer. Many professional chefs swear that spices stored in glass maintain their potency significantly longer than those kept in plastic. Choose better beverages. Replace plastic straws with reusable metal or bamboo alternatives. If you're concerned about the environmental impact, consider that a single reusable straw can replace thousands of plastic ones over its lifetime. Optimize your food choices. Prioritize fresh and frozen produce over canned when possible. When you do buy canned goods, look for products packaged in glass containers or choose brands that specifically advertise BPA-free, plastic-free linings.
Part 4. The bigger picture. Building a healthier future. What we're talking about today goes beyond just personal health choices. We're discussing a fundamental shift in how we think about the materials that come into contact with our food and our bodies. The research on microplastics is still evolving, but the early evidence is compelling enough that leading health institutions worldwide are recommending precautionary approaches. The World Health Organization, the European Food Safety Authority, and the FDA are all actively investigating microplastic contamination and its health implications. But here's something powerful. Every choice you make creates ripple effects. When you choose glass over plastic, wood over synthetic materials, and fresh foods over heavily processed alternatives, you're not just protecting your own health. You're sending a market signal that drives innovation towards safer, more sustainable products. Companies are listening. In response to growing consumer awareness, we're seeing exciting developments. Truly plastic-free packaging alternatives, innovative materials made from agricultural waste, and cookware designed specifically to eliminate chemical exposure. Making the transition manageable. I want to be realistic with you. You don't need to throw out your entire kitchen tomorrow. In fact, that would be wasteful and potentially overwhelming. Instead, think of this as a gradual transformation. Start with the items you use most frequently. If you cook with non-stick pans daily, prioritize replacing those first. If you drink tea regularly, invest in a quality loose-leaf setup. If you store leftovers often, begin building a collection of glass containers. Set a budget that works for you and upgrade one category at a time. Many people find that spreading these purchases over 6 months to a year makes the financial impact manageable while allowing them to research and choose the best options for their specific needs. The long-term investment perspective. Here's something that might surprise you. Many of these healthier alternatives are actually more economical in the long run. A quality cast iron pan can last literally generations with proper care. Stainless steel cookware often comes with lifetime warranties. Glass storage containers don't stain, warp, or retain odors, so they maintain their functionality and appearance indefinitely. When you factor in the potential healthcare costs associated with long-term microplastic exposure, and yes, those costs are becoming increasingly real as the research progresses, these preventative investments start to look not just wise, but financially smart. Creating lasting change. The most successful approach I've seen from people who've made this transition is to focus on building new habits rather than just buying new products. Learn to cook with cast iron or carbon steel. Develop a tea ritual with loose leaves. Create a system for transferring bulk spices to glass containers. These aren't just product swaps, they're lifestyle upgrades that often result in better tasting food, more mindful eating habits, and a deeper connection to the cooking process. The community impact. Share what you learn. When friends and family see your beautiful glass storage containers, your well-seasoned cast iron pans, or your elegant tea setup, they'll be curious. Your choices become conversation starters that can influence others to make healthier decisions. Some people find it helpful to organize kitchen swaps with friends, treating plastic containers for glass ones, sharing bulk purchases of loose-leaf teas, or even having group cooking sessions to learn new techniques with healthier cookware. Looking forward, the microplastics issue is serious, but it's not insurmountable. We're at a pivotal moment where individual choices can create collective impact. The research is giving us the knowledge we need, innovative companies are developing better solutions, and awareness is growing rapidly. Your kitchen transformation isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about actively choosing health, sustainability, and quality.
It's about creating an environment where every meal becomes an opportunity to nourish your body with both good food and peace of mind. Important medical disclaimer. Before we close, I need to share an important disclaimer. The information presented in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with qualified healthcare providers regarding any health concerns or before making significant changes to your diet or lifestyle. Individual health needs vary, and what works for one person may not be appropriate for another. If you're experiencing health symptoms or have concerns about microplastic exposure, please discuss these with your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional who can provide personalized guidance based on your specific situation and medical history. Closing. As we wrap up today's episode, I want you to know that the information we've shared isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Knowledge is power. And now you have the knowledge to make informed decisions about your health and your family's well-being. The journey toward reducing microplastic exposure starts with a single choice. Maybe it's replacing one plastic container with glass. Maybe it's trying loose leaf tea for the first time. Maybe it's investing in your first piece of cast iron cookware. Whatever feels manageable for you right now, that's the perfect place to start. Remember, every small step counts. Every conscious choice you make moves you toward better health and creates positive ripples in the world around you. If today's episode opened your eyes to something new or inspired you to make a positive change, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd take a moment to subscribe to our podcast, share this episode with someone who might benefit from hearing it, and leave us a positive review. Your support helps us reach more people with this kind of life-changing information. What change are you going to make first? I'd love to hear about your kitchen transformation journey. Connect with us on social media and share your story. You might inspire someone else to take their first step toward a healthier kitchen. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep choosing health. Thank you for listening to Rooted Health Revival, and I'll see you in the next episode.